book first.
Yeah. This was really good. So, our main character, Mina, is essentially like Princess of Bengal. It is set at a time of like British invasion, essentially. So her father, who's the emperor, I mean, he's an ass, right? And even when the city might fall, he's like, well, I am all that matters. I don't care about anything else or anyone else. You know, like, just a terrible person, essentially. And when his daughter speaks out against him, he like has her whipped until she's bleeding and everything. Like, this is a terrible, terrible guy all around. Yeah. And his son is not much better and bullies his sister like constantly. Okay, so what happens is a ship arrives with a handsome, roguish British guy on it.
Jeez.
And of course,
Medea's husband.
Okay.
I think
It's essentially that, yeah. It is essentially that. Because the names are also, so Mina with an M, and his name I think is James, like Jason. Right?
Okay.
They start with the same letters. So, he's very roguish, very handsome, and she falls in love with him. She sees him, of course, like, arguing with the port guards or whatever, comes out and tries to intervene. He says, I've been sent here by my uncle to get something, and she finds out that his uncle is like really high up in the East India Company.
Oh,
so she's
great.
like, oh, what have you come to get? It's not Bengal by any chance, is it? It's not Calcutta. Like, you're not here to take the land, are you? Spoiler, he is.
Yeah, well, it's East India Company, so
Like, he...
usually not the heroes.
Yeah, spoiler, he lies. So he says to her, like, I kind of fell out with my uncle, which is true. So I'm going to actually help you instead. So what I'm really here to do is take me to the king, or the emperor, and I'll tell him the East India Company's plans in exchange for a lot of gold.
There's his golden fleece.
Of course. But then the king is just like, well, screw you. Why would I give you all my gold? Like, absolutely not. I'll probably be in prison, if anything. So that doesn't work. And he says, I'll fight off all your guards. And very unfair, but the emperor's like, cool, you have to fight all my guards, and you're not allowed to use a sword. So Mina poisons all the guards so that he can easily win. And, like, she helps him, basically.
Okay.
Because she's fallen in love with him, but also because, like, the situation was not fair, to be fair, you know? There's a cook that she gets on well with, but he's almost like the mean, but, like, he's really your friend kind of cook, you know? And he helps her when it really comes down to it. He helps her escape in the end. James is like, I can't believe your father used you so cruelly with the whips and everything, and his guards, rude to you and everything. So, turns out, Amir, who's the prime minister essentially, the chief advisor to the emperor,
Okay.
turns out he is a bad guy. He's working with the Brits and taking money. So they find a bunch of money in his desk, and they steal that money, and off they go. So they have to flee. The Brits are invading anyway. The king doesn't care. He's like, I guess I have to run away as long as I'm fine. That's really all that matters. We find out later that he gets killed.
Well, yeah. If you don't care about your people.
But as they're going to board the ship, and it turns out that his ancestors were good rulers, but he's just like stupid and selfish, right? And has no actual like military prowess or anything like that, you know? Her brother tries to stop her leaving, and she absolutely hacks him to bits with an axe.
What?
And that is like, wow. He's been bullying her a bit, but it's like, oh my god. He's trying to stop her escaping. He attacks her and her new boyfriend. So she just like butchers him with an axe.
Overkill? Literally?
Literally. And then they escape.
Alright, but...
Now, crucial. They decide they're now married because they're going to be together, and he tells her, well, all that we don't have time for ceremony because we're literally fleeing, but like, we're together and that's all that matters, right? We can consider ourselves husband and wife. And they have a kid.
Okay, yeah.
So, they then go on ship for a while, and then they land in the Cape in South Africa. Another colony. So this is the book's in 3 phases. This is the second phase now. Immediately, life is not what it was meant to be. They're not living in a nice part of town initially. He's got debts, so she has to use all her gold basically to pay his debts, and the rest of it to do his like womanizing, because of course off he goes like around the man about town type thing, drinking, gambling, and womanizing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
She's raising the kid or whatever. She does make some friends, but she already doesn't get along with the governor because he's a racist ass, and so is basically everyone. So people are generally nice to her, but they do almost in like a patronizing, like, and he rescued you from cruel tyranny in a savage land type of verbiage constantly.
So when is this supposed? Is this like apartheid, pre-apartheid type?
This is, I believe it says in the beginning when it is set.
Like, I don't know how much of the East India Company came
So
into.
chapter 1 says Calcutta, 1757.
Okay, no, pre-apartheid.
Oh, yeah, pre like if you're thinking like the partition in India, yeah, way before that.
Yeah, that was 1800s.
19? Yeah.
Okay.
1947
Shows how little I know.
for Pakistan, at least. I'm not sure about Bengal, but yeah. So this is the second phase, probably the weakest of the three, but the governor there, like, her husband wants to get some positions, so he starts trying to cozy up to the governor. She's getting along well with the governor's daughters, but it's a little bit patronizing, and the governor's a horrible racist, basically. So they kill him.
Okay.
So what essentially happens is he's getting weak, and one of his daughters is helping run things for him. And then when he gets, and she asks Mina, like, "Oh, your aunt taught you some like medicinal remedies and things, and some herbal things. Can you help me to save my dad?" So she does, and she saves her dad. And then the daughter's like, "Yeah, but now he doesn't need me anymore. Do you think we could just make him sick again?" And so they overdose him and kill him.
Oh, okay.
And I think Mina at that point does it on purpose. She's like, well, whatever. But then her husband is like, "You witch. Like, I knew that you would use your witchy aunt's nonsense, So I think I left out, I think it happens before this, one crucial detail is when they're escaping, the husband gets very sick, and they have to stop off to see the aunt.
Okay.
And she's in Salem. So they stop there.
Where's Salem?
Like top northeast, I guess, if I'm right, of
Okay.
India. But in any case, they stop with her for a while, and she does a lot of remedies, and she also lives with like tigers in the forest and everything in like a shrine type place that she's just taken over. So they're a bit suspicious of her. She's very suspicious of the guy, of course, the white guy.
Yes.
So they have to leave Africa eventually, and she says, like, "Why don't we go back to England?" And that's phase 3. They go to England, to his uncle's house, and the uncle's like, "You can come, you can even bring your foreign wife and your, half-caste child." And
He's a good guy. With
right?
the East India Company.
Of course. Now she finds out something very crucial. Not only did her father die, but the reason the English forces were able to do it is because her husband had given the intelligence to his uncle in the first place. So he had told her, like, "I'm actually betraying my uncle and I'm going to help you," but then he betrayed her and helped the uncle. So, like, her entire relationship is a lie, and her husband's a horrible person.
Yes.
There's a scene where the uncle,
Kind of expecting that.
of course, Peter Chilcott, the uncle is showing her all these fine things that he's taken. So he's constantly trashing India, but then his house is full of beautiful things he's stolen from India. And she's like, "Oh, hold on. These are my things, my dad's things. Like, you've stolen them from my palace."
Oh, wow.
And she's like, "Why did you do this to my country? Why did you kill my father? Why did you pillage my country?" And everyone, what Brits are like, what a thing to say, like that. You can't say that in polite company. And they all gaslight her that she's in the wrong for, like, being impolite and for making a scene. Like, how could you make such a scene against the governor? He's important. It's like, why don't you kill my dad and steal all my stuff?
Yeah. Such an important person. I mean...
Yeah. So they all blame her, of course. And, like, at this point, her and her husband are not talking. They're not sleeping together. They hate each other. He, I guess, regrets having gone with her in the first place. There's a cousin there, and she, of course, is the same. It's a female cousin who's really, really nice to Mina. So Mina mistakenly mentions to her that they're not technically legally married.
Okay.
And now things get worse.
Yeah.
And the cousin comes in, and James says to her, "We need to separate. Sorry, it's not working. We hate each other. We should separate." And she's like, "Wait, but why suddenly now?" And he's like, "I'm gonna marry my cousin.
Second cousin.
Because then I can get in on the
Yeah,
family money and whatever.
fortune, of course. Yeah,
And the girl's like, yeah,
stolen from her. In the
of
first
course
place.
we're friends, but you told me you're not really married to him, so I don't see why there would be a problem. Case dismissed. And she's like, well, there's a problem because I just lost my husband, and now you're kicking me out of the home of his uncle where I'm essentially seeking refuge, so I have nowhere to go and I'm going to be homeless with my child. And they're just like, well, guess that sucks. And he keeps saying he'll help the child, but then he never really takes any steps to do it. So she says, you know what? I made a mistake. Why don't you try on my beautiful gown, which I've laced with poison?
Oh,
So she kills the new bride. The father runs in, can't believe his daughter's dead, embraces the corpse, and also gets the poison and dies.
of course. That is always funny. I like that.
James doesn't do it, and she's like, oh, okay, kind of wish he'd also embraced the corpse, but fair enough. So he's still
Yeah,
alive,
she care enough.
and she's trying to talk to like someone to see if he can help her like escape on a boat or whatever, and that's kind of the end of the book. But
Oh, so the child survives.
well, very end,
Here we go.
she's carrying the child. I think, if I remember correctly, it's not explicitly stated, but you kind of think that she's killed the child.
Okay.
But it's not. She's still carrying it around. It's not.
Does she exit on a dragon? Is the ship called the Dragon?
No.
Dang it.
But, yeah, it's a bit unclear if the child is still alive.
Because that's the best part of Medea. Her leaving on dragons or something.
This was so good, but so this is good for several reasons. Like, it's told really well, it's written really well, the story's very compelling. It's really interesting, like the Indian setting, the East India Company stuff. You really hate the characters, you know. But then also the fact that it does the Medea stuff is just like an extra layer, which is amazing as well. You know, it's like so much good stuff in this. I really, really liked it. That's absolutely fantastic book.
Contender for top 3.
Maybe. Could be. Yeah, I think so, because I really, really loved it. So
It's been a
those
good
are
month.
It's been a good month. Those are my 4 books. I have one more